Geeks, what's going on? My name is Bran and welcome back to Save Station, the gaming portion of the Geek XP. In case you guys didn't notice, Doomfist was suddenly announced for Overwatch! So Blizzard released not only a awesome 2D animated short for Doomfist, but Big Daddy Jeff also made a developer update to sort of give us an idea of what Doomfist would be like, and not only that, he's on the PTR now! He came out while I was at work, so I wasn't able to try him out till I got home, but I checked it all out. I've watched that, that animated short a billion times now, and I tried him out on the PTR, and I checked out a bunch of stuff online, and so I just wanted to briefly go over my thoughts on this whole thing. So one, I totally love it when Blizzard surprises us like this. The ARG was fun, but took way too long. The Orisa, I thought, had a good amount of hype. We've been waiting for Doomfist for years, and I'm sure this Blizzard is just trying out new ways. I mean, Ana had a lot of build-up, but we thought that was somber, but then was sort of announced, and the way they did this Doomfist is super fun and exciting, and I love it. So first of all, let's talk about the animated short, because holy shit. At first I thought it had been done by Titmouse Studios, which did the Wrath animated short for Diablo 3, which is awesome. A lot of some of their camera movements and animation and the drawings reminded me of their style, but I do believe it was actually Wolf Smoke Studios that did the animation for this, and it's super stellar. Awesome on-model drawings when we had that close-up on Tracer with these super dynamic anticipation poses that snap into their main action. It's super fun to watch. Doomfist looks amazing, and we get to see this awesome fight with how Doomfist was put away. At least this version of the Doomfist. I believe he is the third Doomfist. And it is when the strike team consisting of Genji, Tracer, and Winston, which we knew Winston had taken him down from the original cinematic trailer that was released, when the little boy's like,
and remember, he was all fighting and Winston beat him and was like, Primal Punch!
And we see that, and it's amazing. But anyway, so Doomfist is fighting these guys, and he's recollecting this while he's in his prison cell, punching his way out without even having the Doomfist, because he's that much of a cyborg badass. But he fights them, and oh my god, so he knocks Genji down. After Winston's been knocked down, then Genji gets knocked down, Winston's getting back up, and Tracer's buzzing around him like a little gnat, and he's not even paying attention. He's not even a tank, he doesn't care. And he times it and grabs her chrono accelerator from the back with the Doomfist and rips that mother right off of her back. And it's so... the way they animated that there's that anticipation and hold, and then when he rips it off, she sort of floats in the air, and Winston is just like... And I knew this shit's about to get so real. And she starts blipping around because she's not stable in time. Oh, and when Winston goes into rage and his pupils get dilated and he takes off his glasses in rage, dude, I get so hyped every time. My main man Winston wrecking shit. So good! I mean, I like this just because I get to see Winston playing, and then when he jumps up jetpacks and he punches Doomfist, so great. Unfortunately for me and anyone else who really likes Winston, playing against Doomfist as Winston does not go as well. Winston likes to be up all close, but Doomfist has a lot of burst damage, and even without armor, which generally is what makes Winston difficult to deal with against tanks, like with Roadhog, his burst damage is high enough where I don't see Winston doing super well in a 1v1 against Doomfist as he currently stands. So going into the developer update video and then what I tried out on the PTR is that Doomfist is this sort of burst damagey, rush into the fray offense character. So he's sitting in with the likes of Reaper, Soldier 76, Tracer, Genji, those guys. He does start with 250 base health, so he's going to be a little bit bulkier and tankier, sort of like Reaper, where he can take a little bit more damage than the other DPS characters. His primary fire is on his left hand, actually. The right hand has the Doomfist, but his right hand has this cybernetic enhancement where he has a shotgun blast that he shoots out of his knuckles, which is pretty rad. And then his alternate fire is the rocket punch, where he charges and he shoots forward and hits someone. Now, at first I thought that the longer you charge it, the more damage it does, but the damage is actually flat. It doesn't matter if you tap it or if you hold it down, you're still going to do the max amount of damage, which, if you hit someone into a wall, is 200 HP. Which I think in terms of the trend with characters being released in Overwatch, the general trend has been they are released and are generally more underpowered in the meta, and Blizzard tweaks them up. Ana wasn't really played that much when she was first released because Mercy's healing was a little bit more reliable. Lucio's healing was more reliable. And then she became OP as hell. Orisa and Sombra also started out almost unplayable, and then they've been tweaked and adjusted, and now Sombra makes a great almost alternative support pick, as well as some cleanup damage. Her EMP has a lot of great value. Same with Orisa. Did not start out super great, but now that her barrier is out pretty much all the time, she's super powerful, and her DPS that she can charge out makes her just as viable as having a Reinhardt. So I foresee that overall Doomfist will probably follow this trend, where he might start out a little bit unplayable against the current meta as it stands, but right now, if there's any ability I think might get tweaked, where he might actually be the contrary to the trend, where he might be a little overpowered, is in the Rocket Punch. It's not too hard to hit that. You can just tap it and nail someone with it. And there aren't too many heroes that are over 200 HP at base. There are some with armor that can do with it. Reaper won't get one shot by it. Obviously another Doomfist won't, and neither will any tank. But I remember I was playing as Lucio on the PTR, and I just got randomly sniped by a Doomfist who wasn't looking, just sort of waiting at where we were going to be coming out, randomly hits me into a wall, and I just die. The one-hit kill potential that Roadhog had for a little while, or for a long while, which he got taken away eventually, is pretty high with Doomfist. It's, that Rocket Punch is amazing for initiating a fight, taking someone out, and now you're 5v6 into this team fight. But onto his other abilities, he's got the, what is it called? Seismic Slam, where you get this cool, if you're jumping and in midair, you get this cool little telegraph area to show you where it's going to hit, and you actually jump a little bit forward, sort of like with Winston's jump. You lunge a little bit, not nearly as far or as high, but you get to see that, and it deals a little bit of damage and then knocks opponents towards Doomfist, so that you can set up for a combo. All of his abilities have this great combo potential. He also has got the Rising Uppercut, where he uses the Doomfist to launch himself and anyone he hits into the air. And so what's awesome about that is if you time it properly, you can hit someone in the air and then place your Seismic Slam telegraph where they're going to land. So you hit them up into the air, set up your Seismic Slam, hit them with that, they get sucked in, and then bam, hit them with the Rocket Punch, and they're done. And if not, you can clean them up with your primary fire. So I love all this interplay with all of his combo potential with his abilities. If you can get that combo circuit going, you can do a lot. And what's great is that he can tank through all of this because his passive is, I think it's called the Best Defense, and it's whenever you deal damage with his abilities. So anything outside of his primary fire, he gains temporary shielding, which behaves similarly to Lucio's Overshield from Sound Barrier, where it builds up and then decays over time. And I believe that the barrier the shielding you get from that, it maxes out at 400. At least it's supposed to. I've heard some rumors about some bugs where it goes over. Another cool thing with the Rocket Punch is that, so the charge up for it doesn't do damage, doesn't scale with damage. It only affects how far you charge forward. If you just tap it, you go 10 meters. And if you hold it all the way down, you go up to 30 meters. And it also knocks back enemies if you, obviously, because they can hit a wall. Then finally getting to his ultimate is Meteor Strike. He jumps up into the air, is totally invulnerable, and you get this awesome telegraph thing where you can see who's going to get put into near the one-shot kill zone. I'm not exactly sure what the exact damage numbers are on that. And then a much wider area of some damage and a knockback effect. Could be potentially great on points like right before the second point on Eichenwald, where there's the bridge. If you can hit people on that, you can potentially knock them off the bridge on either side, so that's super powerful. And it's great because you can do it without worrying about being hit. Once you're up in the air, you're totally untouchable. So you can be up there, and it has great, obviously, potential with Zarya's ultimate. You get everyone in there, and it's not like you are waiting for yourself to come down. You can come down whenever you want, as soon as you hit that other mouse button. You can also zoom out so you can see a little bit more of the map. It's really, really cool. It feels kind of very different and much more user interface heavy than some of the other ultimates, where it's kind of like you hit it and go or behave with this new feature added to you. It feels different, and I kind of like it. It gives more control than some of the other ultimates have, where you sort of click it and just hope things go well. You have a lot of setup once you've hit the Q button for this ultimate, and it feels really cool. Really good for getting at least one kill if you time it properly. Because even once you click, there's a little bit of a delay before Doomfist comes down and deals damage. So even if you have someone in the center of that reticle, you could potentially still miss them if they're fast enough. Overall, he's super fun to play. I love the way his abilities combo together, sort of like a fighting game with his punches, and get the uppercut and then slam and then the punch, and then maybe clean up with a shot with his shotgun, which also deals a good amount of damage. If you're up close where you want to be and you just pop someone in the head with it, they're done. It's game over. It does a lot of damage. So for characters that I think he'll do well against, I think he'll do great against characters like Winston, anyone who does low damage but needs to be in close. He's great against squishies right now with the rocket punch. You just need to hit them and be anywhere near a wall and they're done. He doesn't have any armor, so he is sort of vulnerable to other characters like Tracer and Genji that can avoid him. While they did get sort of wrecked in the animated short, I actually think they might do better against him. Characters like Diva and Orisa and Winston and Reinhardt who have this armor, it's difficult for those initially low damage characters with small sources of damage to get through that armor, especially like Winston. He does like 1 damage basically with each round from his Tesla cannon against armor. But since he doesn't have any armor, Tracer and Genji and those flanker poke characters might see a little bit more effectiveness against him than they would against other characters who do have armor. But then again, he's a DPS and not a tank, which I keep forgetting. I keep thinking he's a tank. But this has been Doomfist. It's not Terry Crews, but he's super awesome. I love the design. I'm super interested to see what his voice lines, skins, emotes, highlight intros, and I'll do a video going over all those cosmetics when they get released. But comment down below your guys' thoughts on Doomfist, whether you think he looks awesome, whether you wish he was a tank, whether you wish that Winston could beat him in a 1v1, but if you guys like the animated short, all this stuff, maybe meta conceptions and that sort of thing. So comment that down below, like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe for future content. This has been the Geek XP. You guys have been awarded some Geek XP, and until next time, stay geeky, my friends, and I'll see you at your next save.